think it might be around the same. No, I think it was higher ABV. It was maybe like 15%. But they had 4-packs that were, wine 4-packs, but they weren't regular wine 4-packs. Each bottle was 375 milliliters, so it was like half the size of a wine bottle. But
Okay.
so if you bought a 4-pack, you're essentially buying 2. Some dad drank an entire 4-pack and was just smashed out of his mind, and apparently it went so viral that everybody was looking for Capriccio and wanted Capriccio because they just got so drunk off of it that, like, for, I don't know, I think probably about 6 to 8 months, like, the company got so big that they had a shortage, and then also they then added 4 more flavors to their lineup, and it was just insane. And I was like, if that's really where we are now, where people just have to get real smashed off one thing, like, who's to say it wasn't like the founder or maybe his neighbor or something like that? Like,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's the same thing happened with, remember Taylor Port Wine?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see this? Port Wine
No.
off TikTok. So TikTok made, port wine. I mean, port wine. I mean, I love port wine. Don't get me wrong, but
Okay.
it's nothing I would think that younger generations would be like, let's go get some port wine and get nutty tonight.
Yeah.
But this was about a year and a half ago. You couldn't find port wine anywhere. And it was
Yeah.
a specific. I think it was Taylor Port Wine. And I mean, I was at that stage. I was doing a lot of tastings in liquor stores, and I mean, the phone would be ringing off the hook. Do you have the Taylor Port Wine? Do you have the Taylor Port Wine? I was like, this is nuts. I'm like, how do I get this to happen to me? You know?
Yeah.
But that's just, I mean, sometimes I think that, I was going to say dumb luck, unless you're right, unless it is the founder who orchestrated the entire thing in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, brilliant. You are brilliant.
So I'm gonna throw something at you. I don't know how well it'll work because I've tried doing this with a White Claw and it does not go down very well. Have you thought about trying to shotgun your ready to drinks, or is there too much carbonation? You said you were lightly carbonated.
It is
I
not
know,
too much carbonation. No,
okay.
you could totally shotgun my drink.
Well, I tried it with the
100%.
White Claw and there's too much carbonation. So there's
Too
a
much
lot
carbonated.
of
Yeah, too much bubbles. Yeah, no, ours
Okay.
are very lightly carbonated. And
Okay.
that is actually not on purpose. It's as a necessity. It's very hard to carbonate fresh fruit juices. And so we do not get a heavy carbonation. So some people are like, oh, I don't like carbonation. I'm like, you might like ours. It's just lightly carbonated. But they're not flat, and I don't like it necessarily a drink unless it's a martini, I don't want it straight up flat. So it's just got a little sparkle, not too much. So yeah, you could shotgun it. You're gonna get drunk fast, but yes, you could shotgun it.
Well,
Gosh,
some
maybe I
people
should
that's
try it.
what they really want to do.
Like you said, get to the promised land, right?
Exactly. Some people just want to get there faster than others, so there it is.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, I'll have to send you some of my drinks because we're not in Texas yet.
Okay, well, I would love that, and I'll shotgun one and send you a video and see how it works out.
I'll put it on TikTok and see if I go viral.
Perfect. I think it might be the first time I'm on TikTok, so that'd be hilarious.
Oh gosh, yes, TikTok. It'd be the first time that I've ever done anything on TikTok myself. So
I don't have the app, and I think I'm good not having it for now.
I posted one video one time, and it's so there is. Have you ever heard of Dano's seasoning?
I think so.
Well, they're out of Kentucky, Louisville, and he has during COVID he started posting on TikTok. He now I think has like 4 or 5 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
TikTok was like the key to his success. They are growing so rapidly. I know that they're selling there now. They're now national. They're in Walmarts and Publix and Kroger's and all the things. But it was TikTok, So I'm with you. So before I started this business, I never had social media. I'd never had Facebook. I never had Instagram. I'd never had anything. And, it's one of those speaking of the things that I just don't love, the social media aspect, I understand it's a necessary thing, and I get it. I totally get it. And it is a beautiful, free way to market your business. But it's a lot of pressure to post, and I've had to learn how to do it. I do it all myself now. I'm hoping by the new year I'm going to be able to outsource that to somebody who can help me with it, so I'm not the one doing it, because I feel like somebody could probably do a better job than me, because I don't have the experience, and maybe someone younger than me. But yeah, it's an interesting age for us to be in, that somebody can get that big that fast from going viral on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Stanley mugs. Like, nobody was really using them that much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one person put it up there, and now like everybody's got one. And I'm like, how?
You know what? I know, and I don't even watch TikTok, and I even saw that one. Did you see it? It was how her car got burned, and the only thing that survived was her Stanley Cup.
Is that what it was?
Uh-huh. You should actually Google it, because it is interesting. Her entire car is charred, and not only is the Stanley Cup still there, she opens it up and it still has ice and water in it.
Shut up.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I might have to go buy a stint just in that one random case that my car catches on fire.
I know. So Stanley Cup, gave the girl a new car. And as they should, because she went viral. Yeah, she changed their world.
Not only did she go viral, but I guarantee stock went up big time for Stanley mugs.
I know. I mean, it's just, that's the kind of, I love the stories like that, because you just are like, you just never know how your world and your life can change in one instant. I mean, that is the lovely thing about it. So, but it is a pain in the ass, I have to say.
It is a bit of a pain
thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, so I've luckily gotten to over 100 episodes now without making any videos, just me going out and asking people for interviews and things of that nature. And my social media presence isn't that huge, which I'm fine with, as long as I'm still, making good connections with people and having help tell their stories, which is my favorite thing. But next year, in 2024, I hope to do maybe a little more video stuff for people, just because I know that's the world we live in now. Like, people go through people's stories and just look at those and reels, and that's basically what TikTok is. And, people love just consuming these small videos that really kind of either tell somebody's story or make them laugh or, hopefully teach them something at some point. So, that, like you said, it's the unfortunate point where we're in our lives and in the world where if you don't have some kind of, bigger social media presence, then how are people really going to find you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So so I'm doing it.
Yeah, good. I mean, your Instagram is very nice. You have been doing, you look like you've been doing some collaborations with other people, and you have fantastic videos and pictures. And I'm curious where how did the VW bug come into it? How did that become your mascot?
Yeah, isn't that cute? So my creative director, who does, he's a photographer and a videographer, and he actually found that bug, and that was even before the business. And he was like, we should brand this bug, and it'll be a great way to just drive it around town. It'll be like a rolling billboard. And so that's as easy as it was. And, kind of our idea too was there's something about a vintage VW bug that is just cute, and cool, and everyone likes them. And it really stretches throughout all the generations. I mean, that bug gets so much love from a girl who is 22 years old who will just come up to us telling us, how cute she thinks it is, to, a 65-year-old man who wants to know what, year it is because he used to own one. So it gets a lot of love. People ask for that bug to when we do tastings. They're like, "Can you bring the car? Can you bring the car?" Or if we do events, "Can you bring the car? Can you bring the car?" So that's been a really, really good marketing move for us is that rolling car.
I mean, it's clearly working, and obviously people are looking for it and wanting you to bring it to certain places.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, he put the rack on top of it and it's got lemons and limes in it and they're fake, but I can't tell you how many people try to take one off because they think they're real. So it's like everyone wants a lemon or lime. I'm like, they sell them at the Kroger,
Yeah. Less than $1, you can get some, I promise.
Yes, yes. Oh, it's hilarious.
Well, I also saw that you're on tap at Slugger Field in Louisville. When it comes to being on tap, how does the taste translate? Because obviously, you gotta feed it through the tubes, you gotta feed it through process. Like, I guess, tell us how it came about that you ended up at Slugger Field, and then how did the taste translate for you?
Well, we'd always wanted to put our drinks on tap.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is quite easy for us because we self-manufacture. So we just
Right.
take it from our tanks and we just put it into a keg. Now, I say it's easy. It wasn't easy figuring out how to do it because I've never tried to put liquid in a keg before. So I can tell you that it exploded a couple of times before we figured it out.
There you go.
But no, it tastes great. And the way that Slugger Field has it, they have these it just is its own individual thing that goes straight to the tap. And so it tastes like the same drink that you'd be getting in a can, except that we're putting it in cups. So there's no difference at all, actually. And I do think it helps that, we're just taking it straight from our tank and putting it in the keg and bringing it down the street to Slugger Field. And so, yeah, and they keep them cold, they keep the keg cold and then it goes straight into their, it's not like it's like these huge lines. It's like they're one line and that was a fresh line because we asked that because I was like, I don't need to be mixing with like some tequila and orange that maybe was in there before or something.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's been fun. And actually I really want to explore that more. I don't know how it is in Texas, but around here we're starting to see more and more cocktails on tap because of the RTD market.
I have been seeing it more in restaurants. I guess I haven't looked all that hard at stadiums or arenas, but I imagine that they are getting bigger there. I mean, if they're in restaurants, then there's no reason why sporting venues wouldn't have them as well. I mean, especially considering it's not just sporting venues. They do concerts and they do all kinds of different things there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more and more of a thing. Especially at maybe bars as well. Right now we don't push our drinks too much as far as at restaurants and bars as much as we do like off premises, like sporting events we do, but like with liquor stores. We find that a lot of bars and restaurants, they can make these drinks themselves. They really can. I mean, you could make it at home yourself. I always tell people, I'm like, this is not a complicated process. Lemon, honey, gin, and, sparkling water. You can make that for yourself at home. But I think what people enjoy is that they don't have to, or they can take it to the pool or the lake, or the golfers love it, to the golf course, But I do find it, restaurants and liquor stores, restaurants and bars, we don't sell as well there because I think they think, well, that's our job. We can make it ourselves. We don't need you. And so, but I do think that being on tap is a little bit, interesting for people. It's like, ooh, that's fun, a cocktail on tap. And so I could see it kind of leaning in there. For Slugger, it just was a convenience thing. They want to move product quick, and it's faster for them to pour it into a glass than to make it themselves. So great. I'm glad that we can provide stuff for people. And also too, we started doing these self-service bars that only have things on tap. Do you have these in Texas?
Explain it to me. We might. I don't think I've heard that name before.
Well, you go into a bar, basically a bar, but there's not really a lot of people working there. There's no bartenders. You get a pre-filled card. You put money on a card, and you go up to the machines. It's all these taps, and it's beer, it's non-alcoholic drinks, it's cocktail, it's whatever you want, and you put your